Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles, and oh boy, we've got a good one for you today. I mean, I know I always say that. Well, I don't always say it, it's kind of assumed, but we really do have a good one for you today. This is J-Dog Killer in a tank that needs no introduction, even though I'm going to give it one anyway, the ELC Even 90, one of the weirdest looking tanks, with the turret mounted off to the side of the hull and a gun mounted off to the other side of the turret. Why? Well, it's tiny. It's only got a crew of 3. And look at the size of the turret. There just isn't space in that turret for the commander and the gunner, who are also the radio operator and the loader, to work effectively, sit in either side of a gun mounted centrally. So they've done the best they can to actually mount the gun centrally so that they don't have any recoil problems when they fire it. But it does involve both the commander and the gunner sitting to the left of the gun, because that's the only space there is for them in the turret. It's a weird design, and it did actually exist. In fact, at the French Tank Museum at Saumur, however you pronounce it, they've got one in the children's play area, because it's the only tank that's small enough to fit there. This thing's actually smaller than a Citroën 2CV car. Yeah. Anyway. Small, but effective. The matchmaking isn't terrible here. It's a tier 9 battle on the Tundra map. This is a tier 8 light tank. That would be fine matchmaking even if you weren't in a light tank. Actually, I can remember the days when tier 5 was the highest tier light tank available in the game, and they used to have to scout in tier 10 battles. So, yeah. And he's been joined by the Batchat 12T, just in time to get spotted by the AMX 5120. We'll be seeing more of him later, but not for a while. Well, actually, it was possibly the LHMTV over there who spotted him. But if they can deal with him now, and they should, because there are 2 of them. There's one. The Batchat's getting stuck in as well, and lost half of his health for his trouble. The T-95 and the AMX 5120 are on the other side of the... Oh, you're kidding me. Seriously? Non-penetration. Got 1 shot left. Nope. And now they're both reloading. And the LHMTV has gotten away with it, and with the GSOR there, and these are both French autoloaders of course, both the ELC Even 90 with its 3-shot magazine, and the Batchat 12T, who has managed to survive. But they weren't able to take out the enemy scout, and now they're both reloading, and they both have to get the hell out of there. That's the thing about French autoloaders, that they're great for attacking. They can do a lot of burst damage in a very short period of time. That's why they call it burst damage, but you can't hold a position with them, because once they're reloading, they're basically defenseless. Ooh, potential kill here. Yes, nice, okay. Well, they did eventually get the LHMTV. Both teams are now on 3 kills, although the enemy team do have a fairly nasty health advantage. 2,000 hit points at the moment. It's going to get worse before it gets any better. T-44 over there looks like he's trying his luck with a GSOR, and the T-95 and AMX 5120 are still on the far side of the ridge in their own little valley. Ooh, it looks like we were going to try to do some sneaky spotting from the ridge there, but the Rheinmetall Borsig is attracting fire. He's definitely been spotted, and you don't want to be anywhere near him unless you catch something that misses and was meant for the tank destroyer. Oh, this is going to be a ballsy move. There's an AMBT down there who... Come on, 2 shots. There's one. You get him? Yes, nice, got him. Got spotted of course, time to back off. Although there was nobody actually in a position to shoot at him, so he was in no real danger there except from the AMBT, whose turret was pointing in the wrong direction. Both teams now have 5 kills each, but the enemy team have increased the health advantage to 3,000 hit points. Disappointingly, despite running around active spotting like a man possessed, J-Dog only has 180 spotting damage. I mean, he's got 2 kills, which basically means that he's been having to kill everything that he's spotted, with some assistance. I think it's probable that the Batchat 12T actually has a bit more spotting damage than he does. Well, not anymore, he's dead, as are several more of J-Dog's teammates. The enemy team are now winning 5 kills to 7, and they still have a nearly 3,000 hit point health advantage, but both teams have been taking a battering. The tanks on J-Dog's team who have died have at least been doing damage. And there's kill number 3. Can he take out the enemy ELC even 90 with 2 shots? There's one. Oh, you've got to be kidding. 11 hit points. It's no problem. The T-44's got this. Go on, T-44. Really? Seriously? How do you fuck that up? I mean, fair enough, the ELC even 90 wasn't the only thing shooting at the T-44 there, but how does a tank with 703 hit points, a medium tank with 703 hit points, fail to kill a light tank with 11 hit points and dies in the process? Well, thanks to that, the enemy team are now, well, they're still 2 kills up and they still have a 3,000 hit point health advantage. J-Dog's reloaded. He's unspotted in the bush. He's probably waiting for the enemy T-44 to stick his nose out on the bridge. But the longer he waits, the more teammates he's losing. The enemy team are now up 10 kills to 7. The T-44 is not falling for it, and there's nobody standing between the AMX 5120, potentially the T-32 and the T-95, and the base. So somebody's going to have to spot them for artillery. And sure enough, mission accomplished. He gets spotted in return, of course. But spotting the ELC even 90 and hitting the ELC even 90 are two very, very different things. It's a very fast, very small little tank, and it doesn't take a huge depression in the ground for this thing to basically disappear from line of sight. And I do have to give a shout out here, by the way, to the artillery. The Lorraine 15551, the Tier 8 French artillery. Because he's going to be a bit of a rock star in this game as well. Although, to be strictly fair, he doesn't really have much of a choice, because if he doesn't shoot at the tanks that J-Dog was spotting, he's going to die, because he'll be next. Nothing spotted coming up the river valley in the middle. J-Dog's going to have to reacquire those targets for the Lorraine, while everybody else is still slugging it out on the hill over there. That's not really where the fight is, guys. Although if you're committed over there, I guess you are committed. But the Lorraine needs targets, so let's go and find him some. Potentially we're looking at 3 enemy tanks here. The T-95, the T-32 and the AMX 5120, who hasn't been seen for some time. Oh, he's been spotted. And it's the T-95. And, yep, like I said, it doesn't take a huge depression in the terrain in order for this machine to basically drop out of line of sight, because it is tiny. Oh, T-44's seen him. Fortunately, missed. Like I said, spotting this tank and hitting this tank are 2 entirely different things. He definitely needs to You notice how they're not trying to cap? Oh! Victim number 4. Nice. You don't stick around to celebrate, of course, because the T-44 is coming and the T-32 has been spotted. Or actually, is the T-44 coming? Or is he just lurking around on the other side of the bridge? Well, the artillery took out the T-32, that leaves the T-95. And where is that AMX 5120? Because he hasn't basically been spotted since the beginning of the game. And he hasn't killed anything either. He might be AFK. There's the T-95, reacquired him, ducks back down into cover. And since he's heading this way anyway to get away from the T-95, has a look to see if he can spot anything in the middle. And doesn't. Now there are some good bushes there he could sit in and spot, but J-Dog's feeling a bit feisty, so he's going to go for it. The problem, of course, even though he has a very good idea of where the T-95 is he has absolutely no idea where the AMX 5120 is. And he might not actually be AFK. So there's 2 shots, the final shot straight into the rear, full penetration. And because he doesn't want to get caught there reloading with an AMX 5120 roving up his arsehole, he's got to make a run for it. I'm going to take control of the camera here, look at that. Well, he managed to avoid getting hit by the T-95 by using those rail cars, but he did not avoid getting hit by the T-44. And now he has to run in this direction. This could be really bad, because this is basically where the AMX 5120 was last seen. But he's not here now. T-44 sitting in the cat circle, and now not sitting in the cat circle. I mean, I don't think the T-44 was attempting to win by capping with an ELC even 90 rolling around. Friendly T-54, the other rock star in this game, nails the T95. We'll be seeing a lot more of that T54 later as well. But for now, it looks like the immediate pressure has been taken off both the base and the friendly artillery. So, now to go to the assistance of the UDAS 16, who's the last tank left alive on the hill, and does, to his credit, manage to kill the AMX M454, but then gets taken out in return. So, too little too late. But at least he managed to take somebody down with him. T44's back, and the T54 is going for him, and I mean, in a fight between a T44 and a T54, you're always going to put your money on the T54, because it's just so much better a tank. And now the kills are once again even, although the enemy team do have a definite health advantage. Both teams have, well, it's not quite the same. We've got a light tank, a medium tank, but it's a T54 and an artillery, versus a heavy tank, who's still, oh shit. Well, they thought he may have been AFK. And honestly, for the last 5 minutes, he may as well have been, because he hasn't done anything, but he's sneaked all the way around the map, and he's taken out the artillery, so he's very definitely not AFK. So now it's a light tank and a medium, who between the two of them barely have 1,000 hit points against 2,500 hit points worth of enemy tank destroyer, heavy tank and artillery. Capping out would seem to be the smart thing to at least try to do. So that's what he's doing. The problem here, of course, is that there are, well, only a limited number of places you can actually hide in that cap circle, and the enemy team do still have artillery. However, thanks to the T54, that is no longer the case. J-Dog wants to try to get some spots. Yep, there's the AMX 5120. So tempting to shoot, but no, don't do it. It will give your position away. Ah, crap, and there's the Ferdinand. He has to get out of here. He has to leave. Because, I mean, you might think, well, he can just hide behind the rock. No, he can't. Because the AMX 5120 will get to the other side of the rock and proximity spot him, and with the Ferdinand on overwatch, and him spotted, he can't leave the rock without getting hit by the Ferdinand. So he has to bail out. They're never going to win this one by capping. As you can hear in the background though, the T-54 wasting no time taking advantage of the spotting that J-Dog did while he was in the cap circle to inflict some damage on, I think, probably the Ferdinand. Apparently the Ferdinand is now a one-shot kill. Of course the T-54 didn't get away scot-free. He has around about 300 hit points left as well, which means they are both now one-shot kills for the AMX 5120. And that guy has at least 1,200 health remaining. Apparently the Ferdinand's a one-shot kill. The enemy team have 1,700 health left. He needs to find and kill the Ferdinand. You know, you take out the tanks that you can kill. And he was up here. Is he still here? I mean, it's a decent spot. Oh, he is still here. Close enough to get proximity detected, but too close for the Ferdinand to be able to turn around. And he's got him. And that just leaves the AMX 5120. He's not hanging around to find out where he is the hard way. He's getting the hell out of here. There's still 2 minutes left. But they're not going to win by capping. They need to find and kill the AMX 5120. And that's going to be easier said than done. Well, finding him shouldn't be too difficult. I mean, they're a light tank and a medium tank, and the AMX 5120 is a heavy, and they have a rough idea of where he must be. But killing him, that's a different matter entirely. Because he's an autoloader, of course. And he can one-shot both of them. Well, the T-54's found him. He's putting some shots in. He's doing damage. Wait for it to aim, wait for it to aim, make these shots count. There's one, nice. There's two. Oh, he's got an engine fire. And he can't get the third shot off in time. And the engine fire has been extinguished. However, they now have more health than the AMX 5120, who's down to 223 hit points. But he is still entirely capable of one-shotting them both. So J-Dog's asking that T-54, wait for me. We need to get this guy, and we have to do it together. And it doesn't matter which one of us gets him, although they form the battlefield platoon. It'd be nice if they could both survive and get the Brothers in Arms award. Well, that's not going to happen. And the T-54's even apologising. Sorry, dude. No, you got nothing to apologise for. It worked. He's dead. We won. So that was an extremely well-deserved ace tanker there for J-Dog Killer in the ELC Even 90. No Top Gun, sadly. But, I mean, the fact that they even won was impressive enough. So I'm sure he's not that upset. Of course, he finished top of the team on experience earned. Didn't finish top on damage done, of course, at least not direct damage, with the T-54 getting nearly 5,000 damage, and the UDES-16 holding out on top of the hill there, claiming 3,000. But he did actually manage to get some spotting damage, so on combined damage, he's probably top of there as well. Mostly probably down to the Lorraine and the T-54 shooting at targets that he was spotting in the last 5 minutes, because they didn't really have any choice. It was that or lose. And yeah, sure enough, 2,719 direct damage done, which is pretty impressive for this poxy little low-velocity 90mm gun, and even more, 2,762 spotting damage. So on combined damage totals, he almost certainly finished top on damage as well, which is pretty damn impressive on a tank that's smaller than a Citroen 2CV in a Tier 9 battle. So, where? Actually, you know, it just occurred to me. I mean, they had the presence of mind between himself and the T-54 at the end of the battle there to form a battlefield platoon in order to try to get a Brothers in Arms medal, where both of them survived with 3 kills. I mean, they both had 5 kills. Unfortunately, they didn't both survive. But if he'd had the presence of mind to think to invite the UDES-13 as well, sorry, the UDES-16, who had 3 kills, that would have been 13 kills between the 3 of them, and that would have been a Crucial Contribution Award. But, well, I guess you can't think of everything. Hell of a game to watch. Well done, J-Dog Killer. Thank you so much for sending that one in. Everybody else, I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.